Welcome back, everybody, to the final match of the night for EGFC. I am, of course, Kilo Miles, joined once again by Soy, as we are excited to be getting into the University of Hawaii versus Iona College. And these, I mean, if you've been watching the B stream, if you are a loyal EGF SSBU viewer, you are very familiar with these players because we are very familiar with these players. They have been visiting us and revisiting us again and again, and I'm honestly pretty happy for it.
Yeah, this should be a very entertaining match. I mean, these two squads have players that we've seen kind of either explode onto the scene or show a lot of potential. So this should be a very fun match between two teams looking to kind of separate themselves from the middle of the pack.
And this is looking to be Moat, I believe, coming out first from Iona College. Now, Moat is one of the most consistent players, maybe even the most consistent player in the entire league. He doesn't 0 to death. He does 0 to 50, 50 to 80, 80 to death. Every stop, again and again. So, just keep an eye out from that. There it is, 30%. But the issue with that kind of play style is, well, if you don't get your specific setups, then you can have a little more trouble, as Gray is making it really difficult for Moat to really get the same kind of mileage online. Oh!
Talk about mileage. Look at the one opening he got. Took Moat's jump and knew exactly how to punish taking that first stock off the board.
And now trying to ledge trap Gray, but Pokemon Trainer can be a little slippery. Not quite with true jab power dunk, but still a mix-up and actually gets a stronger hitbox because of it. Gray now almost gets caught by the side B, but able to get right off the ledge. Runs in the Razor Leaf for a second. These Razor Leaves are really throwing Moat off their rhythm.
They really are. I mean, Terry doesn't have necessarily an easy way to deal with projectiles. And Gray taking full advantage of it.
Now, Moat, you have a big old body to combo. Yeah, getting back to Squirtle as soon as you can, but off ledge right there? Oh, I thought they were going to down tilt into the side B, but a little too much respect for Gray to go all the way for that. Couple little taps, and just like that, it's even. Moat goes for a very optimistic play right there, though, with that side B. You've got Go Online now, though, and ways to combo it. You see them fishing for this down tilt. They're not going to throw it out unnecessarily.
Got to play very carefully around the ledge here. Oh, Moat, I think, actually was about to turn that Power Geyser around, and Gray punishes him for it with that back throw. So big stock for Gray to take, and now any extra credit here, again, could be massive. It's going to be difficult for Moat to find an opening.
Oh, the shield pressure, but not doing quite as much as the Shoto brothers. Able to continue to rack up the damage, but not quite able to find a kill yet. At ledge, normally we've seen Moat get some nice down tilts into side Bs, but Gray's positioning has been enough that Moat really hasn't felt comfortable throwing out down tilts at ledge because, well, Moat punishment's been hard for it. Eventually finds the kill at 150, but as Terry, that's pretty late. Oh, it almost ended right there.
Yeah, Gray really wanted that kill on the board smash, but he could not do so. And now I like the option there from Gray. And the back air will clean things up here in game number 1. Strong showing from Gray.
I mean, the back air is huge, so it's possible Moat just didn't react with an air dodge. However, it's also that, well, Moat went for a double jump, like an instant double jump thing right near the ledge, and then got caught by the up B. And it's possible they had no idea they didn't have a jump, so as they're just tumbling down, they go to time the jump to avoid the back air, and then they just get walloped. So immediately University of Hawaii taking the lead. Iona College struggling a little bit, but can definitely bring this back. 1 point is not the end of the world.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And these are two players that, for both of these rosters, there's a lot of emphasis on how they play, right? I mean, Moat 3-1 on the season, and he has looked very strong in the sets that he's won. But Gray has kind of been this kind of consistent rock for University of Hawaii, where this Pokemon trainer, while it doesn't always get the wins against the top tier players, everyone else feels like he can sweep under the rug. So Moat trying to kind of distinct himself from the pack here and not be one of those players who's just another name on Gray's roster.
And Moat kept it close. Don't get me wrong. But Gray may be a different beast going in here. Definitely some stuff you can clean up. Some more consistency, and I feel like their play around the ledge is what gave them early kills against other players. If they're able to find ways to make Gray uncomfortable on that ledge, they might get a little more. Heck chase situation, not able to quite get the follow-up.
That's going to be some good damage there for Moat. And I think you're absolutely right. This player on the ledge is ever so vital for Moat, finding these openings. But for Gray, the key is survivability. Not able to survive that, though. The Buster Wolf able to take the stock.
Uncomfortable on the ledge, like I was saying. And because of that, Gray now at a deficit. And Moat, this is the consistent, patient play that I was talking about. Just waiting for Gray to make a mistake and then dashing in to get 30%, getting out.
Absolutely, and now up basically a full stock. This could be a big opening, though. Terry using his up B, and now able to make it back to stage, though, calmly. Gray not able to find those up airs.
Dying down there to land and get a spot dodge out. I've never seen that method to escape, but hey, Gray knows what he's doing. Not going to fall for the same option again, though, and actually going to punish Moat pretty hard for it. Looking for this up air. They want to get the kill. They don't want to do it go, and they're able to get the juggle and finish off Moat.
Immediately answered right back, though. The use of that side B catching so much of Gray's defensive options.
Gray is starting to catch on. Moat had some adaptations, and that gave them a very early lead, but Gray's really slowing things down, and we're back to the Ivysaur. These Razor Leaves were a thorn in their side, but you might be able to cut the vine off at the root right here. You just need to be able to make sure you can't let Gray get out from under this platform. I mean, the platform underneath it is a great place to be, but Terry has a good ground game, so it's a little bit of an easier time approaching, but is still able to get on back air, on ledge, get the down tilt, but not able to connect the side lead.
Good job not panicking there by Moat. Immediately after that situation got reversed on him, he was able to get back to stage, and that forward tilt will clean up that stock. So a lot of kill power up the board for Moat, but Gray in danger territory here at just over 100.
Oh, and just the down tilt side B. Moat gets a point on the board, ties things up in both the score count and the set match count. We're going to a third game in this set. And Moat right now, they're looking good. But Gray, like I said, was definitely catching up towards the end of that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think Gray, especially in this match in particular, has played very opportunistic. You know, the moments that Moat kind of slows down the pace or whiffs a punish, things like that up B on the platform that were a little ambitious, Gray was able to take advantage of. But once Moat has a lead, he's another one of those players that it just feels so difficult to kind of find the openings to be able to make that comeback in the first place.
100%. And Moat, I'm trying to think of what else they can do, because, like, as I said, they seem like a completely different player from the first set, and I feel like that was just a kind of wake-up call when they were kind of getting bodied by Ivysaur. And don't get me wrong, Gray is still getting juggle after juggle after juggle, and when they have Moat in disadvantage, Moat dies. When Moat is above them, Moat dies or takes 80. When Moat is off stage, Moat dies. But Moat doesn't let them get in those scenarios very often. And so, yeah, when they have to side beat a ledge, they get two-framed. They get spiked. But that's only happened like 3 times.
Yeah, it's a testament to Moat's ability to play around the stage and play his neutral game so well, because, like you said, there are so many ways that Gray could take an early stock in this matchup. There are so many bad positions for Terry to be in, but Moat's done a fantastic job of holding on to them so far.
Ooh. Yeah, able to just jump right back to ledge there. You get some good damage there, but being off stage at the same time as Ivysaur, when Ivysaur can snap right back to ledge, that's scary. They're going to send them up, and the neutral get up, caught by the Razor Leaf. Sticking with the Ivysaur once again. This is an option that really had Moat kind of flustered before. Flummoxed even. Oh, shield pressure. But now you have no shield to work with. But they go a little high. Buster Wolf just going to go right underneath them. Missing their opportunity. And they just throw out another one. Not doing okay now as the uppy will finish them off. Gray takes the lead.
You know, I actually didn't mind using Buster Wolf right from ledge there. The problem was Gray was able to jump over top of it, and that just kind of made Moat, I think, a little bit flustered, left him susceptible to just jumping out of the corner, and Gray was able to catch him with that upbeat, smart upbeat from Gray, and now it puts a lot of pressure on Moat to find a way to come back.
We get that Nair at ledge, down tilt right there. But again, Gray's DI down. It's terrifying to DI down when you're off ledge, but that is what is saving Gray from being comboed into.
Ooh, the spacing of that side B from Moat on display in this set. He's been putting that move to its fullest of uses.
Managed to get the landing, jab power dunk 25%, and you've got them at ledge. Forces a regrab right there with the crack shoot. Tech chase situation, but they can't quite get the follow-up. But they're not overcommitting. They're just trying to avoid getting caught by too many unnecessary Razor Leafs until they get the flip in.
That was a very good flip in to get over top of those Razor Leaves. They've done a lot of work for Gray. And now you got to be thinking, if you're Gray, once this Terry gets up to 100%, the game gets a whole lot more dangerous. So those Razor Leafs, he's got to be very careful.
So now online, and that jab, you know it's going to go straight into it. That time, Gray not able to quite escape. The execution is there from Moat. But, as I said, when they are above Gray, they die. And Gray doesn't drop their situation. And when you think about how Gray doesn't drop that, it is a miracle that this is an even game. That's how powerful Moat's neutral is.
Big Nairs coming through for Gray here to give him a little bit of a percent lead until he gets traded right back. But, man, this is just so difficult for Moat.
And okay to slow down the pace of this game right here. Not ready for that Razor Leaf. It's a false platform. Down throw, but not going to lead to a tech chase that time. But down air is actually enough shield stun that Gray is able to hold on safe and sound. Just throwing out these down tilts, but that shield's growing awful low. Gray has to get out of there and return to the Razor Leaf game.
I like that catch by the up air on the platform. That's a big down tilt. That's a lot of damage. Ivysaur should survive, but how does he find his way back to stage?
They knew they were going for that down tilt. They waited to see it and then dropped down to him with the up B. So they're getting a lot of regrabs right now. Both getting kind of desperate. This is the kind of time where you might just throw out a Buster Wolf, throw out a Power Geyser, and I feel like that's what Gray is waiting for. Can Moat hit it? It's the execution test right now. Through this maze of Razor Leads, can you land the final blow? That is what Gray is testing them on now. They want to make them frustrated. They want to make them use an unsafe option. The spike, though, forces a tech situation. Up smash. That's going to be safe, and the up B going to finish them off. Gray is able to clutch it out in the end and steal it over Moat. When Moat looked like they had it, Gray slowed the pace of the game down and really made Moat work for it, and that, well, gives University of Hawaii the lead.
Yeah. That's a huge win for Gray because Moat, like we said, one of the heavy hitters of this roster, who usually starts off the game pretty hot for Iona. So for him to fall early, that is a good sign for the Rainbow Warriors. And also, really got to commend Gray that set. His adaptability was really good. But I also like the we don't see a lot of Pokemon trainers do this here at the EGF, but the early up Bs on stage as a hitbox, just calling out jumps. Gray, I think, does it more and better than a lot of Pokemon trainers in this league.
Oh, 100%. And the fact that they're using it as such a consistent punish option, like seeing that they want to go for down tilted ledge, instead of treating it this unbeatable option that you have to respect, they just went, okay, what can I do with this? Drop down, up B. You know?
Yeah, no, between that and the and then being able to recover with it as well, just the Ivysaur obviously put in a lot of work this match because it made life really difficult for Terry. But when you have that kind of matchup knowledge and are able to implement it in such a way, it's really something to watch.
Yeah, I like how Moat came back, and I feel like that game one, when they got ran away with, it might have gotten to their head a little bit, but they're able to hold on strong until the end. Though Gray really being a bit of an anchor for the side of University of Hawaii. Now you can see who they are sending in next. Let's take a look here, a little look-see-loo. All right, it's gonna be Not Christian and Loser coming in. Now Loser, Pikachu player, is able to win out their sets, but it's always very tight. They're a very neutral-based Pikachu player. Their combos are not as strong as Pikachu can be, but I don't think anyone's combos are as strong as Pikachu can be yet. Quinnipiac is on the future. But right now, yeah, definitely more of a neutral-based Pikachu player. And, I mean, with the amazing tool that is Quick Attack and Thunder Jolt, they get a lot of mileage, but they can be shut down by people with a stronger punish game that get more out of every opening they get. Not Christian could be that person.
Yeah, this is an interesting one too, because it's a counter pick for Iona, and Not Christian is a Game & Watch player. And so for Iona to send in a Pikachu against a Game & Watch, I feel like you do that as a call out saying our player is just better, because that matchup feels difficult.
I forgot Not Christian was a Game & Watch player, so there are a few matches in this game that I genuinely believe to be unwinnable at a high level, like between two equal players, but Pikachu Game & Watch might just be one of them. Like, it is brutal. And obviously, being much more based around neutral is good, but it's still hard. It's really hard. And I've seen better Pikachus try. No offense to Loser, but I've seen some really good Pikachus try at this matchup. And it's scary. The fact that you don't have a punish game, and if you try to use your best neutral tool, you're giving Game & Watch access to a instant Falcon Punch that you can use from underneath ledge to blow you up as a get off me tool. And a lot of your pressure isn't safe. You can't really challenge them with that. Like, it's so many factors that come into play, where if you play this matchup right as Game & Watch, I really think Pikachu can't do much about it. And that is not something I say lightly.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. This is a matchup that I think is really difficult, and which is why I think it's interesting that they decided to opt for this matchup, right? They decided, okay, we know Not Christian is going in. Let's send in Loser and see how he does, because like we've said before, Loser's a player that this Iona roster, he's a player that shows a lot of potential, right? He's had his off weeks, but when he wins, he looks very strong in doing so. And so for Not Christian, I think that Hawaii is basically saying, okay, we're not going to put any pressure on you. We have a lead. Let's just send you in now, and let's see what you can do. And for Loser, now the pressure's on him to make a counter pick.
Does Loser have any other characters? I mean, like honestly, I want to. I've talked about the Pikachu Game & Watch matchup on stream before, just because there's often a lot of time to fill, like we're doing right now. I'm not sure if we've ever actually seen it on stream, on EGF, so I kind of want Loser to play it out just so I have vindication, just so you see what I'm talking about. Because Loser is a good player. Loser has won, I think, most or all of their games. I think they're like...
2-0 this year. 2-0.
2-0. Yeah, Loser's good. But up against a Game & Watch, it might be a little bit of a different story. I'm very passionate about this matchup. So I don't play either of these characters, but... Okay. Loser. I try to be unbiased, and Hawaii, I'm sorry, but in a matchup this unbalanced, you've got to root for every little small victory that Pikachu gets, because Not Christian is going to demolish them.
We'll have to see. Not Christian is 1-1 this year, and this year he's gone exclusively Game & Watch to this point. I don't remember if he has a pocket or not from last year, but as you can tell, off to an early start here on FD.
Well, reading the roll in right there, and not really absorbing too much of that right there, but Pikachu can't really shield that down air, at least not when your shield's already been hit. As you can see, struggling to approach right now. Normally, Loser loves those T-Jolts, and they're throwing out a couple of them. Not Christian hasn't really caught on and started absorbing them yet.
Not quite yet, and it just feels, it's like you said, Loser's ability to go in on this character, something that Pikachu thrives off of, is just not here, but is able to find an opening, but he can't quite follow up either.
Yeah, and now it comes to Not Christian to try and find the kill. Game & Watch, not a character that struggles in particular with that, but I doubt Loser is going to make it easy for them. Let's see, up he had a shield, but... And Not Christian, they understand that they kind of have this aura around them that Pikachu can't really approach, and then the chair just comes out to finish them off.
Yeah, and Loser had done a good job of kind of maintaining his space and not being hit by too many, stray quick hits like the chair or any tilt attacks, but just got caught out that one time, and now look at Not Christian, already 39%, and just off of what felt like a few stray hits.
Down air right there. And that is the other thing. It feels like anytime Pikachu gets a hit, it is a trade, which Pikachu is not a super light character, but doesn't benefit from getting hit. No character benefits from getting hit, except for, Stoltz or Snake, Duckums, but never mind. Anyway, Loser. Okay. Double parry leads into nothing, and a back throw. As Loser is trying to keep them off stage, and they catch the down air with the down B. Okay, Loser maybe starting to get some little something going after they had time to feel out Not Christian's habits.
A little bit of momentum for him, but now at 105, he's got to play so carefully. Not Christian's got kill options in the pocket, but able to keep him to the corner for now.
And we read the jump. That's a Not Christian without a jump right there, but they absorb the thunder. And they try to get a read on that quick attack, not going to connect. Ooh, Not Christian is trying to keep things slow, but they're getting a little predictable. They land, they shield, you get grabbed. What's Loser going to do the next step in the rock, paper, scissors? Yeah, they're catching Not Christian relying way too much on their shield. Loser is actually winning out the mental game a little bit.
Ooh, that was close, because like you said, Loser is catching on to that reliance on shield, but he just wasn't fast enough to get there before the down smash hitbox came out, and That dash attack will take the stock. Game & Watch, I believe, the third lightest character, or one of the top 3 lightest characters in the game, so will die to that dash attack. And now things back to dead even.
And now, they're caught by the Nair, but Not Christian doesn't quite convert it right there. Still an ability to get this done. Rolling right into the F smash, though. Oh, and that's a preemptive bucket to try and stop the Thunder. If Loser catches onto that, that could be it. But they hold on to that shield a little too long. Yeah, that time you're going to get him. Down smash into down smash into forward smash. Two combo, by the way, is going to be enough for Not Christian to go up 1-0 in that set. Loser kept it very close. I will give them a lot of credit. Loser did very good in that matchup. But in the end, they just had so much trouble approaching, and so many of their openings were just hard reads. I mean, calling out someone with a Thunder, with the Cloud from a Thunder, that one jump read they had where they had to double jump all the way up to catch them. I mean, these aren't like the hardest of reads, and not all of them are super committal. But that is the thing. Some of them are super committal. You throw out the Thunder and Game & Watch absorbs it. Like, if he's ready for it, then that just doesn't work. Like, I do want to stress, like, how much Not Christian is doing to get things mixed up. Like, they are adapting as fast as they should. Loser just can't adapt quick enough.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I was even going to comment, too. It felt like some of the damage that Loser was getting, especially on the early portions of that game, it was off of things like catching landings with forward smash, which you can't really follow up on even at low percents. So it felt like you said, the combo strings that Pikachu, kind of make him such a valuable character, they're just being mitigated time and time again. And it feels like in order to play that stray hit type of style, Pikachu doesn't feel like he's built for that.
Yeah. Yeah, we are, again, sorry, I lost track of things just a little bit right there. I was just checking in on how our players are doing. But as we're getting everything figured out, let's just take a minute and recap where we have been today, because we've had a surprisingly eventful day, Soy, if we take a look back at the schedule.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, we started off with 2 heavy hitters, William and Mary, taking down the undefeated Marist College, or undefeated till this day. Then Southern Alabama versus Niagara. Southern Alabama getting a huge victory under their belt. Niagara getting their first set win as well. And then we just came off of a very close set between UConn and Quinnipiac, which was a lot closer, I think, than people anticipated.
Yeah, like, there were a lot of storylines. I mean, William and Mary and Marist, that's one I think people are going to go back and watch. Like, that was a very good one. University of South Alabama versus Niagara. Niagara put up a good fight at times, but, well, that was South Alabama showing what they got, strutting their stuff. Meanwhile, University of Connecticut versus Quinnipiac. The reason that is so notable, University of Connecticut, they're 0-4, or they were going into it. Quinnipiac, they are 4-0, or they were going into it. So, on paper, it seemed like a very open and shut case. And then Quinnipiac was taking them entirely seriously, putting in some of their best players, putting in their MVP. They had the player who was an MVP from last year. And they almost lost. It went down to the wire. University of Connecticut did not win. 5-0 now, 0-5 now. But they are definitely showing that they could get a massive upset later down the line.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There's a lot of potential on that UConn roster. And Quinnipiac saying, that they're playing with confidence too. Quinnipiac is a team that I think time and time again we've talked about how they're no stranger to those very close matchups. So it's very entertaining. And then we're here now in the Iona Gales versus the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. And these are two teams that Iona, they sit at 2-2 right now, kind of middle of the pack, looking to find their way in that MAC conference. And Hawaii, they're 1-3, but they might. I feel like they're the best team with a losing record because they have had such a slugfest through the early part of the season.
Yeah, they have. As a lot of teams take Hawaii very seriously because you never know what they're bringing to the table. As right up for that loser on the receiving end of many of these aerials. Up he had a shield, will catch them in the end. But again, not too bad, all things considered. Down air on shield is going to get punished. The down smash out of shield, interesting, as they're relying a lot on like dash back and smash attacks out of shield. Oh, I think it's a bit of a misinput right there for Not Christian, but Loser's going to capitalize as best they can.
No, I'm with you too on the catching of Not Christian through these smash attacks. That is going to be the stock, though. Ill-advised from Loser, and Not Christian now up a big stock.
Yeah, Not Christian, a lot on the board right here. I mean, if you're a Loser, your main goal here is to not get them stocked. Prevent as many points as you can from being taken off, because Not Christian, I mean, Loser was getting the edge in the neutral a lot of the time. I mean, but if your neutral options are that easily punished, then, well, it can be a little trickier.
Ooh, whiff grab there. A very tense scenario between the two shields, but for now, Loser still looking for a way to come back in this one. Can't quite track down Not Christian's recovery either.
Loser plays the ground game, looking for grabs, looking for dash attacks, anything to put Not Christian in an unsafe situation. Going for the chef at ledge, but instead they don't have the spacing right, so they go for the back air instead. Once again, hitting the parry on the chair. The Loser really having trouble getting in. Eventually gets the dash grab, but you can't really contest that recovery. Oh, they just air dodged the ledge. Interesting.
Went a little bit too far, and he'll have to recover. Now that put him in the corner, and Not Christian going to clean up stock number 2. That forward tilt has done so much work for Not Christian, stuffing out so many attempts and getting now 2 stocks throughout this set. And Loser, again, has to avoid, has to kind of cut down on the bleeding, and it is so difficult to do so.
Yes, they connect even more hits. Loser sent tumbling up. 51% already. And on PS2, Loser really struggling. Able to get the forward smash, but that's not the sweet spot. But thanks to that down B, they're able to finish them off. But big hits right here. What does Loser do now? Up B, just tacks on more damage. Guaranteed damage for Not Christian.
That first stock coming off the board was massive for Loser. Now at 100%, that's going to be it. The dash attack, or the quick attack, getting caught once again by the down smash, and Not Christian with a solid 2 stock in game 2.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time hyping up that matchup, but we can't pretend Not Christian didn't have the adaptations to just not get hit by shenanigans. That's as best as I can describe it. It felt like Loser at times would just go in, and they would go for smash attacks, and a down B and smash attacks. And they were getting a lot of damage off of it at times, especially in that first game. There's a reason that Smash is not a game based solely around smash attacks. Like, you will get punished fairly hard for it. And that is exactly what Not Christian did. Took a deep breath and went, okay, I'm not letting you get away with this anymore.
Yeah, no, and that's just a solid job by Not Christian, right? We talked about how difficult this matchup can be for Pikachu. And so for Not Christian to just kind of take his knowledge, knowing what his character can do and implement it. Because, like we said, Loser is not a bad player, but that matchup is just so difficult for that character that if it's played differently, if not Christian, tries to be more aggressive, tries to take early stocks, and allows Loser back into the game, you saw it gets a lot closer, like in game number 1.
Yeah, so tough, not undoable for Hawaii at all, as we're going to be seeing quite a heavy-hitting matchup coming up next. Darth Wampa notably has a win over Katsuji, I believe. Is going to be taking on Yaliso. Now, Yaliso, personal favorite player of mine, because he actually plays Brawler and Gunner, but I know them more for their Mii Gunner. Yaliso, they move. They schmoove. And schmoove is not a word that gets to be used in Ultimate very often. But the thing about Mii Gunner is their forward air actually gives them a little burst of momentum. Think of Rob's back air or Corrin's back air, but it's their forward air. They use it like a spacing tool. They are zooming around the map at supersonic speeds through the air with B reverses and forward airs and just completely unpredictable movement coming out of them constantly. And that is what I like to see. I mean, they have taken a character and made it their own. And you're going to need that movement to get in against Darth Wampa.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Darth Wampa opting for the Lynx as his characters, and those are going to be kind of tough to deal with. But we also saw, even for Yaliso, the Mii Brawler, the last time we saw it, even that looked very clean in its movement. Things like the kickflip and fall and the up B, along with the combo ability off of things like first hit of forward air, looked very, very strong. But for Darth Wampa, this is a character or a player that has kind of been up and down. He's got wins against Katsuji, which is a very strong player, but he's lost to Bobby Time and Thitko from St. John's. So he's going up against some of the heaviest hitters here, and this is another big matchup for him. And I'm curious to see how he opts to play it, because I feel like Darth Wampa is one of those players that doesn't necessarily have his own style. He kind of adapts to whatever pace gets thrown at him.
Yeah, I mean, if they were able to adapt to Katsuji's level, I'm very curious to see how they'll adapt with to the crazy movement that Yaliso brings to the table. New Link movement text, maybe? I mean, back in Melee, Link pretty much exclusively moves around by blowing himself up with bombs. So, technically feasible in this game. I'm just saying. Darth Wampa, get on this. We're going on to Final Destination to start out. And that's exactly what I'm talking about right there. Yaliso right in to try and even things out, but then they back out. Slow the pace a little bit. Methodically taking away space.
Gonna be the name of the game for this game, number 1, and keeping Darth Wampa to the corner, but Darth Wampa now finds his way out, and that's a lot of damage. Quick combo, and Yaliso already up to 62.
Yaliso struggling to find their way in. A lot of liberal use of this nair. That's crucial right there. Making it really tough to get in. Yaliso closes the gap so well, but they have so much hard time remaining in there. But the super missile covering that little landing right there is very nice.
So much play around the projectiles of these two. And it's very interesting to watch, especially. Ooh, that was a good forwarder. And the snipe, Yaliso, great up B. And the forward tilt's not going to catch him in time.
Yeah, they're able to get back to stage. And that time they get the shield right there. And that forward tilt, it's such a fast burst option for such a stereotypically slow character. And look at that. They got out of Link's famous juggling with that amazing sword by just zooming right out of there. That's what Yulisa does best.
The spacing on that forward air from Darth Wampa, very impressive, as I thought he was going to get caught by that forward smash, but instead his forward air hits and takes Yulisa's first stock.
Yeah, Yulisa's zooming right over them, but the issue with Link that I'm finding is Yulisa can get in, they cannot stay in. If they stay in for too long, they get blown up, they get nared, they get up smashed. It's an unwinnable position for Yulisa. So they get in, they get one hit, and then what, they run away? Is that what you're really supposed to do?
Yeah, very difficult. That's a good snipe, though. Kept his jump. And the other thing, too, is Darth Wampa's doing a very good job of mitigating the projectiles. Look at the mine specifically and how easily Darth Wampa is finding a way to deal with that projectile.
Yes. The up smash is beat out by the nair? Alright, nerf Link. I cannot believe that. Link went through the explosion cloud! Darth Wampa picked the right character, that's all I'm saying.
When he uses the bomb to punish the attack on shield there as well, so Yulisa really struggling, like you said, to find a way to secure this stock. That forward air, that's dangerously close to the blast zone, and that bomb will secure the second stock, so Darth Wampa, despite being at 145, has a 2-stock lead.
Yeah, and now, where do you find the kill? They're trying to space this back there, but the up smash out of shield isn't going to connect, and well, Darth Wampa's is a little bit better. They just kick the bomb right back towards Yulisa, saying, no, I don't want it. And they're turning every single one of Yulisa's tools against them. This might just end up being a 3-stock. The forward smash of shield, though, will take the words right out of my mouth. Yulisa, this game might be out of it, but they're still in this set yet.
And that up B from Darth Wampa was a little ambitious, and Yulisa able to punish it. It's not an active hitbox necessarily. It's actually very close to the body, and Yulisa taking advantage of it, but now he might be dead from the arrow. No, able to get back, but the nair keeps him off stage once again.
They'll snap the ledge, but the up tilt will catch them. And Yulisa having a really hard time. Crouching down, yeah. That's going to be the forward air right there, and now you are left to wonder. You're Yulisa, where do you do it?
Yeah.
Do you go to the Mii Brawler? I mean, obviously, I think you don't want to go to Final Destination again. I think that definitely benefits Link a lot more than you. But yeah.
No, I'm with you. The Mii Brawler, I don't know if it would necessarily have an easier time. I think it would have, you have a little bit more agency in terms of getting around those projectiles, especially if you go to a stage with platforms. But outside of that, I feel like the type of play Yulisa wants, you know, he thrives off of Mii Gunner, off of those openings that he finds. But Darth Wampa did such a good job of playing defensively that I'm not sure the character switch is in the cards here. I think you go to a stage somewhere that gives you a little bit more agency to get around those projectiles. If you can get to, you know, a place with triplats, I think you take it and see what you can do. But like you said, it just felt like that was almost Anaconda-like, just being choked out time and time again.
Mii Sword Fighter. Alright, so they're just doing this. They're able to go in now. They got the chakra. I have to assume they have the tornado. I mean, it's one of the most reliable kill confirmed in the game. And it's usually, for the most, I think it's transcendent of most other projectiles. Yeah, there you got the tornado. Falling up there. Not going to connect. They're just looking. Keep Darth Wampa in the corner. Maintain it for now, but then they're going to be punished.
And Eliso still finding himself at a little bit of an early deficit, but not out of the woods by any means. That was a good forward tilt, and Darth Wampa making good use of that shield. We don't see a lot of that from the Lynx, but has the time to just block out those projectiles.
And showing that you can do that out of a crouch, that's big right there. I mean, a crouch is a very good movement option that a lot of characters don't really get the opportunity to use. So the fact that Darth Wampa was so instant on that, very good awareness of their character. Backer sees him off stage. Oh, the parry into the side B. Instant punish right there. Eliso's starting to find the lead. Forward air, send them off out the corner. Eliso takes the lead.
Big stock for Eliso to take, especially knowing the kill power on Link, and that is going to be it. Finds the second hit of that forward smash.
Now, Darth Wampa trying to pressure above, but you're caught holding an item on the platform. Able to get off, jumping very high to the other side of the stage. Darth Wampa getting caught more often than not by these chakrams, by these tornadoes.
Good arrow to snuff out that second jump from Eliso. It's interesting too, the way these two have kind of set up all of the follow-ups that they get off of projectiles.
They zone, then they go for that side B, and it either kills or it does nothing and gets them back. Oh, doesn't quite hit the up air right there. Be a little more ready for that one. Eliso for it. Side B, they're going to be punished with the up B out of shield. It's fine. Nice up B off the ledge right there. Just
That's
immediate kill.
Yeah, that's twice now that Darth Wampa has kind of used that up B in that get off me type of fashion. That nearly comboed, but Eliso the quick reactions to get out of there.
Yeah, now with the up B right there. There's gonna be safe on shield, but Eliso holding on the up B. It's scaling, so it's going to be a long time before kills. But that dash attack, he'll do just fine. Strongest dash attack in the game right there besides DBD.
And it's a big stock for Darth Wampa to take, because now Eliso on his last stock, and those back airs, look at the percent they do. Things back to even now.
Down throw. Into the up air. Some nice, consistent damage right now. Go from here, though. That is the question. Eliso wants to get this to a game 5, but how do you get in? Darth Wampa short up their defenses.
Playing dangerously. That's very close to each other. There's an opening for Eliso, but can't quite find the follow-up.
A lot of landing nares occasionally right here. Oh! Up with the up air there? Not going to be enough. Another one might be, though. Or an up B. Looking for the tornado, looking for any confirm they can. Trying to catch the jump, they can't find it. Darth Wampa has to grab at ledge. Able to beat out the boomerang with the chakram. You're holding the bomb at ledge. We're going to do with it. It's caught right again. Hot potato. Oh! But in the end, Darth Wampa will finish them off. Leave in twain. As that'll be Darth Wampa taking the set right there over Eliso, and University of Hawaii coming in swinging. I mean, this is getting desperate.
Yeah. No, 14-1 is a lot to overcome, and so Iona, these next two players, they have to show up, and they have to show up in a big way. You're looking at at least a 2 stock somewhere along the board for both players in their next few sets, and that's assuming they win. That's assuming they don't drop any more points, and that is a huge lead for Hawaii. Really got to commend Darth Wampa in that set, though. We talked about how good Yaliso has been for Iona, but just so many good defensive options. And that dash attack right there to end that game, I thought that was a really smart dash attack, knowing that Yaliso was trying to play so careful, and it was really well timed to counter that neutral getup.
Yeah, it was really... I don't know. I feel like Darth Wampa is just like, as you said, they are an impenetrable wall at times. It is, but they're not always. They can be aggressive. I remember the first time they were here, they had these crazy combos because they play to the player. And sometimes that can be a good thing, sometimes that can be a bad thing. But regardless, tonight, right here, right now, it's the thing that got them the win. So that's very nice. Now we're going to look into the future because we've got some heavy hitters coming up. It's going to be Volt coming in. Let me just double check. Volt is not the one who is ranked in Hawaii, though. However, Kibbs, yeah, Tempest is the one ranked in Hawaii. Kibbs, on the other hand, is Falcon player, but I think it's actually Rat King coming in on the Bowser Jr.
Interesting. So Rat King, we've seen him a couple times on stream, and if you look at his characters that he's played on stream, it's almost like he's picking the low tier. He's got Bowser Jr. as his most played. King K. Rool he played in week 1, I believe, and Little Mac also was on the table, I believe, when they played against Niagara, I want to say. So, you know, he's got the, you know, multiple pocket picks. I'd expect to see the Bowser Jr. here if all goes according to plan. But on the other side of that, Volt is this player for Hawaii who has been here for, you know, he was here last season, and he was the anchor of this team last season. But this season, he's kind of taken a step back. A lot of these new Hawaii players have shown up in a big way. So the rare chances we get to see Volt, I'm curious to see what he can bring to the table.
Yeah, I feel like Kibbs, if there is going to be a player who comes in and gets the potential to make this even, is Kibbs.
3, 2,
is this Kibbs?
go!
I thought Kibbs played Captain Falcon. I may be confusing them for someone else, but either way, Falco, Falcon, what's the difference in the end?
Well, it is. I think I actually do kind of like this a little bit better. That laser can be very disruptive for Volt, but either way, like you said, the type of play style that Falco and Falcon go for, the amount of damage they can do off of their combos, it's ever present. And also having that reflector on deck against Volt is going to be something to keep track of as this game goes on.
I'm one right there, baby. And you're able to get the combo starter right there, but Volt is really controlling the pace of the game right there, catching the side B on the stage with clean up forward air. Up throw not going to connect quite as you would want, but the up tilt also doesn't connect. Kibbs kind of struggling to get some mileage.
That back air and up smash still not finding the kill quite yet. Kibbs has to play so careful. I actually like that reflector, and now can't quite space that back air. Good recovery from Volt, and now Kibbs back to the corner. That back air will seal the stock away.
Okay. We get one hit, but Kibbs is really, really struggling to find the way in, even though you're starting to get them towards kill percent. And that dash attack did so much work. Not even going for the 2-frame though. Instead, just waiting it out, and with the rage, with the cross slash and the limit, they're gonna finish them off.
And now, yeah, sorry, Kibbs is in a world of hurt. Can he find the stock? That's a clean conversion. The up tilt to back air, just what Kibbs needed.
Yeah, but you're gonna need a lot more than that to patch up the hole that is being cleaved inside. Oh man! Volt is moving at a speed we'll see most clouds move at. Because he is a fast character, especially with limit. Using the burst options of down tilt, of dash attack, to even increase the speed even farther. Sliding around with the chain landings right there in order to mix it up a little bit, but Kip is able to extend the combo a little more. 57% spike on the platform, but can't convert it into the up smash.
It feels like Kibbs is still kind of hunting for an opening. It's a couple times he hasn't used that side B to get back to stage. Volt very weary of it. That up smash will connect though, so stock number 2 off the board. And if Kibbs plays his cards right, he can find himself back in this. But at 122, feels like he's working on borrowed time.
Cool. Get the rapid jab though. You have Cloud on stage. Not able to push it. One back air though is really all you need. But if Volt is having that mentality, maybe Kibbs can get some mileage. With that forward air. Good. Down air will almost kill though. Up smash out of shield, not gonna work. Catch chase situation, but you don't react. And there. The back air in the end will be the finisher. Volt is extended right now. It is borderline unwinnable at this point. You would need a double 3 stock and a double 3 stock. A double 3 stock and a 3 stock and a 2 stock. I don't see that happening right now, Soy. Iona College looks unprepared for the storm that Hawaii is sweeping in, and, well, that's unfortunate for them.
Yeah, no, Hawaii came to play today, and it's shown through in spades here as Volt picking up that win. I will say Kibbs had some openings there towards the end. It felt like Kibbs was starting to get a grasp on the matchup, but at the end of the day, Volt, like you said, just the damage had been dealt. He was already at such a deficit that it felt like he was working on borrowed time, and Volt, if there's anything Volt has done well, it's cleaned up stocks in the history of Hawaii, so he is a dangerous player. He was the anchor of this team last year, and this season, only 1-2, but again, he's been going up against some of the hierarchy of the league when he's been playing, so Kibbs has his work cut out for him.
And, well, he's got the right cookie cutters for it. I mean, he's got all the baking sheets. They're all greased up. And we saw they were almost able to put together a really nice meal towards the end, but, well, when you're at that much of a deficit, even if you're on a hot streak, all it takes is the one mistake. And the one mistake is all we saw towards the end, that back air. Running into it, that was your stock. It doesn't matter how many neutral wins you had in a row. They still just cut it a little close, as now going to be caught by the cross slash at 0 and the cross slash at 34 and the no, unfortunate. I was hoping they'd go again.
Good parry on the platform for Kibbs to get out of that dangerous situation. And I think Volt is now starting to catch on to the fact that Kibbs is not using this side B to recover. And that's a dangerous get-up option. And Kibbs gets caught out once again. Volt with a big early lead.
Yeah, I think that's the second time we've seen something like that happen. Volt is just too good at calling that out. Fishing for that up tilt is going to get you caught by the uppy out of shield. It's disjointed, but not that disjointed. This platform. Able to escape the combo for a moment. They go very deep right there, and they managed to get the tech. I don't think they would have lived anyway there, but yeah, that's unfortunate if you're Kibbs.
I'm not sure he did get the tech, which is why he was so far away. Either way, the up B would not have reached like he saw. And now Kibbs on the verge of being 3-stocked, and With Lumen off the board, that's big, but again, it just feels like Volt is in full control.
Yeah, Volt calling out all of these options so hard. With the up smash, Volt gets the 3 stock, dominating Iona College. University of Hawaii came in with a new fury that I have not seen from them before. 20-1 right now, and they can still extend that score line farther. Iona College has the opportunity to stop them, depending on who they send in. It could be Rat King, it could be someone else. But yeah, Iona. This is definitely something you look at and come back next week. I mean, they were just telling me how they were getting into the swing of things. They were feeling good about how they were playing. But now it might be starting to turn it around as University of Hawaii sending in Flightless Nerd against Rat King. Rat King, their arsenal of low tiers. But a little hesitant for Rat King. Meanwhile, Flightless Nerd is a little bit of a question mark for me, Soy.
Yeah, he's new to the EGF for me as well. I have not seen this player before, so I'm curious to see which character he opts for.
Yeah, but I mean, they definitely had some. As for Rat King, the Bowser Jr., the Bowser Jr., sorry, got distracted. The K Rool. Was it Rat King who pulled out the Jigglypuff counter pick, or was that someone else?
It was the third one was Little Mac. That was his
Mac.
yes.
And they were really good players with Little Mac too. Like really good players. And I remember I called them out on it. I'm like, when you pick Little Mac, you are saying, this is an execution test, and I think you're going to fail the execution test. I think my neutral is better than yours, and you are not going to have the skills to punish me. And, well, in that scenario, Rat King was right. So, I got faith for them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's interesting, too, that Iona, I know this game is out of reach, but I think it's very telling for some teams who they send in when they are, at a point deficit, or if they're trying to come back. It's kind of a who are you placing your gambit on? Who do you rely on in the most clutch of scenarios? And it's always that last spot that also interests me. Even though the game is out of reach, it tells me Iona has faith in in Rat King, in these low tier type of characters. That it says a lot, I think, for Iona's confidence in the depth of their roster.
Yeah, I mean, again, we're just trying to figure out when exactly. Oh wait, yeah, we're going in for PS2. It looks like. Actually, that might be banned. One moment. But yeah, we are just finishing up real quick. Again, I thank everyone for your patience. With teams all over the country, it takes time to get these matches organized, make sure everything is all good, and then get into the match. So, I appreciate you all hanging out here with us, but maybe a bit before the game starts, so be sure to grab some water. Stay hydrated. Right here. You got a water bottle, Soy? You stay hydrated.
I have a one of those blue like Ziploc brand cups.
The tall. You gotta treat yourself, Soy. Come on. No, I used to cast with an actual glass of water next to me until the incident. So yeah.
Gotta stay hydrated.
Yeah. Cheers, everybody. But yeah, University of Hawaii. Definitely, well, they are a wild card. Some teams are ready for them, some teams aren't. They are a different kind of beast in a variety of different ways that I mean, it's just such a different play style compared to everyone else. I mean, they've got their coach helping them all improve in a very similar way. University of Hawaii finding a lot of mileage.
Yeah, no, and I think it goes to show the value of a coach, right? Because it's one thing to have confidence, to play with confidence, but having that different perspective, that kind of outsider who can point things out to you, you know, the ability to not only, because you can, you know, tell from your own gameplay some mistakes, but having that third perspective come in and show you, hey, this is something that, you know, you didn't catch. That is a super helpful aspect of the game. And so that's why, you know, we talked about George Washington, how they were hyping up their coach. That's why we thought they were going to be, you know, such a huge threat in this league, is because that coaching aspect, it really makes a huge impact. And over time, these coached teams are going to be, you know, have a lot more. You're going to see their players improve a lot faster, I think, than the teams just kind of trying to wing it on their own.
Yeah, I mean, it really can't be overstated. I like how you bring up George Washington University, because going into this season, I was such a big George Washington University believer. They hyped themselves up so much in the preseason interviews. They hyped up their coach so much. And George Washington, they have been doing good, but they have not reached that level that they had been promising me. Broke my heart. If George Washington, if you're watching this, you broke my heart. I wanted you to be number one. Thought you were funny, but in the end, just couldn't deliver, unfortunately. I can't publicly say who my number one team is, but between you and me, chat, it's whoever's on screen right now. So I wish these teams would get on screen right now, because I would love, I would love for one of them to be my favorite for a little bit.
Yeah, no, these are two teams that also, I think it's very interesting. Hawaii is one of those teams that, and we'll probably get to ask them this in the post-game interview, but this is a roster that I think has a lot of pressure on them, because Hawaii was one of those teams that snuck into the playoffs last year as that very last team. They got in through, I believe, a tiebreaker to get in into that opening round. And last year, you know, it was kind of the Wild West of Super Smash Bros., right? Some teams were flying high. You had the big three who barely took a loss all season. And then you had these, you know, 5 or 6 teams right in the middle of the pack. And Hawaii feels like that roster that is, you know, they went from middle of the pack to, you know, in front of the pack, because they picked up so many good players. They've picked up so much, you know, they picked up that coach that we've harped on already. You know, it feels like this is a Hawaii roster that it's going to go through some growing pains, like what you saw. They've had a lot of early on in their schedule, a lot of big names in their roster or in their schedule. But now that those are out of the way, now they can really see and implement their growth and see what they can do.
Yeah, and I am excited to see it. I think we are finally getting in now.
3, 2,
Oh, this buff player must be the unknown. Going up... This is a rough matchup, but in the current conditions, I mean... I don't... Oh, Flightless Nerd, because it's Flightless Bird and Jigglypuff. I get it. I'm understanding it. As, I mean... Defining feature of this matchup, it's gonna be the pound. You have, especially online, it's really hard to react to it, but Little Mac can very easily beat it out with the grab. Now, if you get a forward throw, that is another massively powerful tool, as you can actually see Raccoon spacing around these pounds pretty well.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like this character matchup specifically is like the most glass cannon type of matchup, where they, you know, Jigglypuff can die so early to moves like that forward smash, and you know, the stock is off the board just like that. But again, you get Little Mac off stage, and that's where Jigglypuff thrives the most in getting characters off stage and taking their ability to recover away. So Flightless Nerd at a little bit of a deficit here. I feel like it could be easily made back up.
KO Punch kills Jigglypuff at 5%, by the way.
Oh, that is disgusting.
Yeah. It's revenge. But you don't need to go for it then. Just throw it out. And it's a call out of any aerial you want to go for. Racking with the Shmoop on the ground. And even though Jigglypuff controls everything above it, it doesn't really matter if you can't land eventually. You're gonna Flightless Nerd needs to land. Reverse Nair right there. That's actually a new combo after the buff. Reverse Nair in the back air. It can be huge. Did that down tilt just trigger that counter? I thought that only triggered if you hit the head, but either way, Racking happy about that. It gives them a little bit of an opportunity. Yeah, Racking, no nonsense. When you got that much ground movement, you've got to just finish it. End it. Put in the final punch. And Racking is actually able to get some more points on the board for Iona. Important for the match differential, but still kind of brutal.
Yeah, that matchup in particular, like you saw, I feel like Rat King, actually, I'm going to flip my emphasis over to the Flightless Bird here because I feel like, Puff likes to stay in the air, right? Likes to use their jumps to approach, their multiple jumps and, land space their forward air or back air properly. But it felt like the jump distance was right in the sweet spot for Little Mac. Just a little too, level. Because Little Mac has, a little bit of height to his punch, right? He's like, you could crouch under it necessarily, but it feels like the jump distance was a little bit off.
Yeah. I mean, playing a grounded game is technically pretty good against Little Mac, because a lot of the options, like improperly spaced forward smash, up smash I think does scoop. The big one that Little Macs love to go for is, if Little Mac's neutral B, where it charges up, that does not at all hit Jigglypuff's crouch. So if you just hold down and then as soon as he releases it, rest, you'll just kill him. I know all these little matchup facts. I know all the fun facts. And there's nothing more fun than Wi-Fi Jigglypuff versus Little Mac. As you can see, this is how you're supposed to play the matchup. Play the platforms, use the fact that you cannot control the low ground and mouth. If you actually wanted to completely win, completely destroy them, that's what you gotta do. Going for it, and yeah, just carrying them off stage, that's gonna be it.
Yeah, at some point in there was able to take the jump. I think he took it with one of those down airs, so good early lead for a Flightless Bird, and now Rat King looking for a way back into this one.
Rat King, yeah, just dash dance into that little bit of a forward smash. Rat King at the moment searching for answers right there, but an optimistic up B gonna put you in a little bit of position. Flightless Nerd, I mean, they're just waiting for their opportunity. But even when they get that one pound, they accidentally did a grounded pound. Grounded pound does not combo. You need aerial pound.
Along the ledge, this could be a big turnaround here. Good counter, though, by Rat King.
Yeah, if you know someone's going to be there to beat you out, then you've got to go for it. Missing out right there. Ooh, doesn't get the charge quite as much as they'd want to. Either way, though, able to get the percentage lead right now. And you can see how terrified they are. And now, please hit it. Jab KO punch. No! Oh, I wanted it so bad, Soy.
My jaw dropped. I thought he had it.
Either way, though, it's not a true combo by any means, but who expects to jab at 0 to kill? I do. Either way, I'm just fishing right now. I mean, you're happy to just keep taking these trades with your little Mac. It's what he's built for. We did parry, but no real follow-up on it. Yeah. Nair to shield. Will send Little Mac off stage, but that very early counter, if you don't hit the counter, you're just dead as Little Mac. That's the unfortunate thing.
I thought for a minute he might have been able to survive if he had his jump, but I don't think his jump was there. That up B, not going to be able to take the stock quite yet. So Flightless Bird surviving, but yeah, he's working on borrowed time. That forward smash cleaning up the stock, and Rat King will take set 5 and cut into that differential.
Yeah, some nice points on the board right there, but still, the lead Hawaii build is nothing to be scoffed at. 20-6. Did an excellent job here showing up and demonstrating the work they have put in. Yeah, there is a lot going on here. I mean, I know Iona definitely feels they could have played better. Iona definitely feels like there could have been different conditions. Listen, we're doing the best we can for how this league functions, and I appreciate everyone for sticking it out with us. Even throughout all of the delays, all of the setbacks, all of the issues, we're just trying to bring you some Smash Brothers action. We're trying to help collegiate scenes come together, clash, compete, and all that jazz. So I appreciate everyone for sticking it out here with EGFC.
Yeah, no, and this was an interesting set. I mean, we talked about it too. These are two teams kind of looking to differentiate themselves from the middle of the pack. And Iona, a team that was 2-2 coming into this week, they fall to 2-3, but it goes to show how far they still have to go. For as good as they've looked, now Iona is starting to hit those teams that, you know, they're right on the bubble. And these are the kind of identifying games, you know, that you're going to look back and say, if we had just won this game, or if we had just, you know, did this a little bit differently, it could make a world of difference down the line. But this was kind of, I think, a benchmark for Iona to say, okay, this was a playoff caliber team. This is our score line. Next time we play someone like that, we have to beat this. We have to beat a 14-point deficit and work your way from there. And for Hawaii, this was a great turnaround for them.
Yeah. Some really nice stuff going out there for Iona, and I've got faith in Iona in the future. I think once they recollect themselves, Iona can do some magical things. But for now, we're going to go to a quick break. When we return, we're going to be getting an interview with Volt from the University of Hawaii, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back with the last interview of the night for EGFC. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to EGFC. We are here with Volt from the University of Hawaii, broadcasting live from there. How you doing, Volt?
Good. How are you guys doing today?
Yeah, we're doing fantastic. And hey, listen, that was a very nice show you've all put on, and congrats on the win right there. But I actually was a little bit curious. So it's well known that every Smash scene is pretty unique, and you all are even more unique for the fact that you are, well, pretty isolated. Like, Hawaii's Smash scene is Hawaii. Like, there's Midwest, there's Tri-State, which is all these states coming together, but you just have Hawaii. So what do you think makes Hawaii's Smash scene unique, in your opinion?
I think because we're so isolated, it's going to make us a lot more tight-knit. I can't really speak too well on this, actually, because I just moved here in August, but from what I can tell, everyone knows each other very well because we are so small. So be it the managers, the TOs, the players, like, we all hang out a lot as well as, like, friends, I've noticed. So it makes it easier to sort of communicate and work together as a team, just because we're pretty tight-knit.
Yeah, and honestly, that's great to hear, and it does translate. I hope it translates to not necessarily teamwork, because you're not playing in the same game, but all supporting each other as a team, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
So let's focus on your set in particular. You went up against Kibbs' Falco. What was your game plan going into that fourth set?
Yeah, so I knew that I wanted to sort of rack up a lot of points because right now, like, prior to this match, our team was 1-3, so I knew that, like, every little point will matter. So I decided to, like, take the first match a little slower, play patient, sort of get my downloads in on any habits or just, like, general play styles. And then when it came down to the second match, it was, like, time for execution. So that's why I really sort of played patient, applied a lot of what I was downloading, and just played my heart out, especially in the game 2.
Yeah, that definitely came through in the end. I mean, Kibbs almost ran it back on you, but you really got the download in the second map. I mean, you really called out a lot of the habits. I'll leave it at that.
Thanks. Yeah,
But yeah, and for you personally, so you say you just moved to Hawaii. So how has it been? Like, you mentioned how everyone is close-knit, but how has it been integrating into a new team like that in a completely new region like this?
It's honestly been fantastic. Our coach is phenomenal. Dark musician Bobby, like, he's a phenomenal coach. He works really closely with us to sort of help us as players grow, understand our weaknesses, understand our strengths, and how to capitalize off of that. You know, as a team, we're all really supportive of each other. We'll play friendlies all the time, and, you know, carpool however we can to sort of build each other up as a team. So it's honestly been not hard at all.
Yeah.
That's sorry about that. That's good to hear though. So I'm curious about your upcoming schedule. You've got some interesting matchups. I mean, through the first 4 weeks, you guys had some very, very difficult games. A lot of the staple names of the EGF in those first couple of weeks. So how do you guys feel about now your season going into, I guess, the back half of this split, going in at 2-3?
Yeah, I think we're trying to stay pretty optimistic. I think we got some good momentum going. We had a good game versus Alabama, and now we have this game. So I think we're really starting to find our groove and how we're going to play each match. So we're looking, I think, pretty optimistic. We're figuring out, you know, who's going to be our anchors, who's going to be our starters, who's going to be sort of our subs, what kind of matchups we're going to shoot for with each player. So I think we've got good momentum going forward.
Yeah, and I really hope that, well, you're able to use that momentum to great effect, and I wish you best of luck in your future games, but for now, that's all we got for you. Thanks so much for coming in for this interview, Volt.
Also, I have one more thing. I heard through the grapevine someone was saying that I was the anchor last year. That was actually a different player. I am not.
Oh, it was?
So, yeah, I'm a different person, but no worries.
Well, thank you for clarifying. And once again, thanks for coming. Hey, you can make a name for yourself. You'll be the anchor one day.
Hopefully. Well, thank you guys for commentating. I really appreciate it.
Of course. And with that, we're closing down for the night. Thank you so much for tuning in for EGFC. If you like what you saw, be sure to follow @official_EGF, running this whole thing, @House of 3000, running all of the productions on Twitter. Just look up House of 3000. They're amazing. Zeno up in New York. You can't miss it. Also, myself, Keel Miles, @KeelMilesGG, and the one and only Soy Sun J Sport down there. But that's all we got for you tonight. It's been a long night and some good Smash Brothers. So stay healthy, everybody, and have a nice night.